Have you ever wondered about what the first Christians believed and how they lived? Have you ever looked into the questions we all wonder about, the meaning and purpose of life, death, human evil, struggling, the frustrations, the joys, and the downsides and tragedies of life? Have you ever wanted to meet amazing American heroes or influential figures? All of that's going to be covered in our show. I'm Christopher, the host of the Ukrainian Fire Chaplain Show. Stick tight, because I'm going to tell you about our program. This is the Ukrainian Fire Chaplain Show.
911. Cardiac arrest.
25 0.
We have a working fire.
Hold traffic, shots fired.
Slava Isus Christu, glory to Jesus Christ. Welcome to the Ukrainian Fire Chaplain Show. This is just a short introduction and a sales pitch of sorts why you should join the show. We really currently have three major parts. We have a weekly podcast that comes out every Wednesday morning. We have a weekly Church Fathers series, educational content, and a journey through the life and writings of the first Christians living during the catacombs. That also comes out every Wednesday. The third part of our show is we have a Guardians series. Some of them are titled American Guardians, some of them are titled Catholic Guardians. It's really the thought and reflection of my background in public safety and working as a lay chaplain in the ER during COVID, when a lot of people were kicked out of the hospitals. And I wanted to bring on amazing people, some who I know personally, some who I know through connections, some who I've happened across, and to interview them and get them to tell their amazing story. Some of them are Catholic, some of them aren't. Don't be scandalized. It's an inclusive episode about engaging with other people. I also have, coming soon, a Catholic Guardian series that I've hinted at, and that is going to be a long-form interview session with influential Catholic figures. So some of you are going to ask, okay, Christopher, that sounds interesting, but who are you to talk on all of this? And I would say I come at it from a couple of different perspectives. I myself am a convert to the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church from Marxist atheism. Wait, how does an atheist become a believer in God? That's an awesome story. But I am a convert to Christianity. I wasn't born this way, wasn't raised this way, had a number of various struggles of why I should become Christian or not. And I've made that journey personally myself. Another reason, why I've got multiple degrees. I've spent better part of a decade studying this. If you check out our About section on the website, it lists a little bit. Most recently finished a master's in theology, specializing in liturgical history of the Eastern Catholic Churches at the Ruthenian Seminary in Pittsburgh. I also hold a couple of graduate degrees in business and education from a Lutheran university, degree in business is in organizational leadership and HR development, degree in education is in educational leadership and adult learning theory. Some kind of interesting stuff. Part of that has supplemented my career and work that I do for various agencies. And I have been out there on the front lines. There are a lot of really great Catholic interview shows, discussions, long forums, and if you are a very well-studied Catholic, some of that's really engaging. But I work on the fields sometimes in the back of an ambulance, and I can tell you 95% of the people out there really have a hard time connecting to a very articulate academic expression of our faith. That's not saying there's anything wrong with that, and I can do that too. But I really wanted this show to have elements of our ability to talk to people off the street that don't know Christian jargon, that don't know the Christian language, that are off-put by this, what exactly are you saying? And so I try to translate that. And don't be surprised, because interestingly enough, in the public safety sector, there are amazing firemen and cops who have PhDs who write all of this literature. And when the guy that's been on the job for a year takes a class through the feds to learn about this, he's like, I'm completely lost. I have no idea what all this jargon, academic jargon is saying. I want to try to bypass that bridge. I will push that out and challenge and go into some details and some debates about the faith. But I also want to try to keep it in as simple, everyday language as possible for those of you guys that aren't Catholic or that, are Catholics but haven't had the opportunity, whether you're like, me with 5 kids, and you just don't have the time to go out there and say, well, let me spend 3 years of my life in school and study this and forget all of my other responsibilities. Well, I'm here to offer this show as a way for you guys to kind of engage this beautiful tradition that we have and this beautiful faith that we have without having to pay for it. So how do you find out more about the show? So we are on 18 podcast platforms, and our primary base is going to be YouTube. The podcast platforms are also safer for when you're driving and maybe a better listening experience on long-form interviews. We're on Facebook, Twitter. Our website is theufcshow.com. And since we're just going live with this during Thanksgiving of 2022, I've done a lot of the prep and a lot of the recordings over the past few months. Some of you are going to say, what is the whole, where did this show come from? Why are you doing it now? Aren't you just trying to copy people? Actually, this show was started a couple of years ago by me back when I was in graduate school. And I said, look, I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm in 2 grad schools simultaneously, and we're expecting our 4th child. So I kind of took this whole project and set it aside. Originally, it was supposed to be an adult educational, ongoing formation program for our Ukrainian church, and I've decided to revamp and expand that to include all of these different aspects. We will also have more shows and special series coming out in 2023 that you guys are going to enjoy. That's going to be studying the scripture with the church fathers. That's going to be difficult moral questions about the Catholic faith and about Christian principles of living. So stick tight, and we will see you soon. This is your host, Christopher. If you like today's episode, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, click the bell for notifications on future content. If you haven't already, check out our website, theufcshow.com, ways that you can support us and find us on other platforms. Until next time.